equipment I ended up picking for this project, this is a Frigidaire 5000 BTU. As you can see, it's just a standard wall unit. The reason I want a small unit is not only because of keeping weight down, this is only 40 pounds, but also it only draws 350 watts at peak cooling capacity, which is actually the most efficient small AC unit I could find. The advantage of drawing that few watts means that you can also get a small generator. Next up from this generator, which is a 1000 watt generator from Yamaha, is quite a bit larger, harder to find space for, heavier, and also consumes gas a little bit less efficiently. This unit's incredibly quiet too, so all those reasons are why I went with the Yamaha. I found this thing on Craigslist on our way south. So as you can see, the generator will eventually be in this spot, which is where the hot water heater was, which we decided to sacrifice for air conditioning. The AC install, it'll go right here. The way the new air conditioners work is they don't have a condensate drain port anymore, where almost all new units, the way they work is they take that water, and when you do the install, you have to tilt the AC back so that the fan blade dips into that water and basically throws it on the hot condenser coils, and that hits the coils and evaporates. Even though we're going to tilt it back when we do the install, sometimes, you know, you're on a slant when you're sleeping, unfortunately, and if the unit is tipped at all this way, what's going to happen is that water is going to run forward on the unit and come out the sides of the holes, and so you have to make a drip pan of some sort to collect that water and reroute it. This is the old fan shroud for the stovetop. In order to do the install, I'm going to have to drop it down a little bit. So everyone's install is going to be a little bit different, but basically you could buy a drip pan if you don't have something to use like this. But I'm going to be basically sealing this up and using the top of this fan shroud as a drip pan. I also am using this vent hood as a structural member to support the AC unit. I did 4 bolts, you know, one up in this corner behind the foam now, and then again another down here. So what that does is it allows the vent hood to kind of cantilever some of that weight, but it's still not enough. You're going to be going down bouncy roads. You really need to make the structural area that it's sitting in very robust. So I also added this cross member here, bolted here. I added these structures in the back, again fender washers through the fiberglass, and really once you start adding these points of contact, adding in the fiberglass, adding in existing structures, you really get to a point where you are confident that you could put a good 50-pound weight on here and go barreling down the road. The shot of the drain port on the inside of the vent hood. I will coil up a little piece of Tygon and have that installed in here, and when the AC is running at night, I'll pull that Tygon out and have it run into the sink. So here's the shot from the other side. The expandable foam kind of got out of control, as it usually does, but you can see that drip pan, and I ended up sealing all the seams with silicone, some holes from silicone, some electrical holes with expandable foam. The rest of the unit's going to be sticking out about a few inches. The condenser coils you really want outdoors. The reason you want to enclose all of this with expandable foam is really just so you don't get that hot air coming inside and coming into your camper. That's all really the expandable foam does. It's not a water sealant, although it does a little bit. I did have to seal some of these edges, which may get moisture from the outdoors, with silicone, which is really what you want to use for your water intrusion prevention. As you can see, the fan from the vent hood still works. I extended this cable so it can run around the AC unit. So here we are with the AC in place. As you can see, it's attached with banding around the top. On the front here, these are 2 pretty large number 12 sheet metal screws. So I did a through hole through these legs in the air conditioning unit. The legs go down behind this piece of wood. Using a sheet metal screw to thread into those legs, which gave a very tight connection and is securing it forward and keeping it down. This banding is also keeping it down. We are on the outside of the unit. You can see the main method of securing the unit from coming out this way is through this banding. I added this Tygon tubing. This is cut Tygon, which basically creates a nice rubber bumper around the unit. The fiberglass basically has an outside fiberglass layer and an inside thin wood layer. Getting water between those two layers could be bad for mold generation, so this kind of sandwiches and creates a barrier so that water doesn't get between those two layers. And now it's time to install the exterior shroud. Well, the box ended up turning out pretty good, actually. You know, it's not flexible like I wanted, but the fiberglass is flexible enough to mold to the box. In the bottom here, drill some drainage holes, so when you get sideways rain or rain in here, it's not pooling up down there and sitting on the wood. I did spray the wood with urethane. Here's the final install of the AC unit on the inside. Now all there is to do is to take it out on the road for a few weeks and see what changes need to be made. Here's a duct I ended up building basically to route cold air directly to the bed, so you don't have to wait an hour for the AC unit to cool the entire camper. You can immediately turn it on and get a comfortable sleeping temperature. I ended up filleting open a piece of galvanized ducting and using high strength Velcro, and then taking this flexible ducting, you can basically route it wherever you want. In this case, you can route it directly over to the bed. So you may ask yourself, why the hell do we need AC on the road? Well, I was told to blame it not on Colby, but yep, instead to blame it on the dog. Piper's fault, she demanded AC, and you can see she pretty much enjoys that. So, moving out to where the generator is, you can see it's on a platform outside, weather protected, very quiet, very efficient, very lightweight. In my case, it's a small price to pay to keep the girlfriend happy on the road. Whee!